The truth is that your mind has never failed to do its function. But the thing is that you yourself, you as a being, you have forgotten its functioning. And by the end of this video, you will have seen how best you can have your mind work at the frequencies you require yourself to work at, and you require its functioning to be. Okay, now when you're functioning in business, this entrepreneurial mind that you have, it is the mind of functioning at intense levels. But then the truth remains that your mind is actually an automation to produce the recorded information. As in, the mind, we as people, as we were made, as we were created, you were created as a spirit in nature, a spirit that dwells, that lives inside the body. You understand what I'm saying? So as you live inside this body, God created it with this head. Inside the head, he put there the brain, the mind, and this brain is only meant to be your memory card, to store the information you want it to store. Or if you use it in a haphazard way, it also stores content that you don't want to store. So this mind, its functioning, it's just to retrieve the information you've coded there, the information you've encrypted there, the information you've stored there. But then this thing that you want to do, it is coming from your spirit nature. It is coming from your high powers of imagination. But as you forget that it is supposed to be functioned, organized, and prepared from that level, then that is when you eventually lose out and your mind loses its concentration. Because we try to let our mind be our identity. We try to let, because of education, like how we're programmed in education, the way you think, the way you function is because of education. Education has taught us that we are what our minds are. What the marks we get are what we are. But the marks we get are actually the storage of what we have managed to store according to what we have studied. But what you actually studied might have not been of any use to your mind, to your growth. That's why you manage to get a bit of it and discard more of it. Now, when we come back and bring this thing to the business sector, our imaginations, our visions are the ones that create what we have. We all know that everything that exists as of now, it exists because it was at first place imagined. Someone had to first think of, let's say, how can I have an automation? How can I have a car? How can I have this vehicle that runs in air against the force of gravity? I know it's hard for me to jump and keep in the air for 3 seconds, for 1 minute, but I want to make this thing that keeps in air for all this time. And however normal and natural it might seem to you, to people who are there during those times, they must have seen this kind of person as an awkward, stupid, foolish, more of a dream guy, the person who is not aware of the reality, but now something which was seen as unreality then is now seen as reality now. So this is what I'm trying to break down. Your mind has this capacity of storing more and more of the content that you put in, but then you should not let your identity keep in this mind where you're drawing, because this mind is just a memory card of what you can do, of what you have done, of what you've stored. You have actually consumed much content which is not in your mind, which cannot be retrieved by your mind, because of how repetitively you have been interacting with this mind of yours, how constantly you've been checking with this mind. Remember, the mind has a tendency of discarding the information that is not usually used constantly, so it later discards it out. So you not being able to function at some capacities to have the solution for this great business idea, this great move that you're trying to move, this sales, how you're supposed to manage the objection in the sales system. It doesn't mean that now you are a failure, you don't know how to manage sales. You see, I can give you a hint on how I did it with myself. No, I was studying engineering. I was studying mechanical engineering at the bachelor's level. But then I checked to see if my mind can really still work at those intense levels. I had to leave. Remember, when you're doing mechanical engineering, this engineering, the whole of it is more of physics, chemistry, mathematics. That is, and basically it is majorly physics and mathematics. That is the major portion of it. Then I left mechanical engineering when I was soon graduating, when I was 2 years in, remaining with 2 years out. Left and moved into another course that required me of different knowledge to check, does the mind have this capacity of adjusting? Remember, according to our setting, the setting of my home country, Uganda, when you reach O level, when you finish O level after, because it is from nursery to primary, finish primary, then go for O level. O level, nursery to primary, it is 7 years. After finishing the 7 years, you go for O level. O level is 4 years. After finishing O level, you now go for the 2 years of A level. That is high school. High school consists of 6 years, O level and A level. Then after these 2 years of completion, that's when, and in these 2 years, this is where you specialize in what you're going to do. So there I specialized physics, chemistry and mathematics. 2 years, left biology behind. Now moved up for these years, moved up for the mechanical engineering. I did mechanical engineering, but then after 2 years of doing mechanical engineering, I now dropped it. I started doing sports science. Sports science, for it requires more of biology and chemistry. So this was something that was totally different from what I was doing. It was 2 years of O level, not studying biology, then plus 2 years of not studying biology and chemistry. This is when I was O level biology, living biology. Campus, 2 years, bachelor's level, doing mechanical engineering, physics and mathematics basically, are now channeled to this other sector whereby I'm doing biology and chemistry. These are things that are very tough to be combined with, and according to how I refused to allow my mind be my identity, knowing that I'm a spiritual nature living in a body, living in the human body. This is how I managed to control and also learn these new things about biology and chemistry, and eventually made it as a very good student in this sector. Even as I was studying the chemistry and everything, I still multitasked to study more things about the psychology, about human behavior, reading more books of self-development, doing multitasking with a lot of things. And this mind of ours has the capacity to store everything as you bombard it into there. And you forgetting and letting your identity move to your capacity of your brain, of your mind, is the major mistake you can ever do and deny of your real identity. Your identity is a spiritual nature. You are a spirit that lives in a body, and through whatever you want to do, through your imaginations, living as a spirit nature, as God created you, and with the willpower He gave you, you are only supposed to let this power within you, this energy within you, vibrate at the resonance it is meant to vibrate at. Vibrate with the power, with the energy it was actually created with, so that you can have and attain everything that you know of your capacity. You know you have the burning fire in you, and you know you can do what you're meant to do. But then you allow your mind tell you what you are. Yet your mind is just a memory card of your being. You get me? You understand what I'm saying? Your mind is just a memory card of what you are. You are more than what you think you are. You are the spirit. You now are what you have managed to know of whom you are in the spirit, of what your mind has managed to conceive of your spirit. The greatness that you know of your spirit is the more you can do what you have to do. So allow yourself to function and vibrate as a spirit in the body. And as God said that I have created man in my own likeness. Let's create man in our own likeness. In the likeness, God is a spirit. He created you as a spirit. You are also a spirit. Function as a spirit. Don't let yourself function as a mind. Your mind is just your memory card. It just stores. You have a lot of power that dwells in you. Thank you for understanding what I'm trying to deliver. If you haven't understood, make it a point to rewatch the video, because research shows that it takes 7 times, minimum 7 times of rewatching content that someone starts to get a grip of what has been delivered. However much you might seem to have understood what I was delivering, make it a point to rewatch this video. Make it a point to rewatch this content, because your spirit will continue to learn more of your identity, of how you're supposed to function, of how you can have your way, your perfect way through business, and continue to live a prosperous life, a life of happiness which you were ordained by God to live in. Thank you for receiving what I've been sharing, and if you haven't subscribed, I don't know, if you haven't subscribed, please press that button. Please press that button, because as you subscribe, you continue to receive this kind of content. The major point, the major time, immediately when I release. And imagine I release such kind of content and you don't receive more, because as time goes by, I also continue to grow in wisdom and in understanding and knowledge. So why let yourself, as the earth rotates, keep behind the increasing wisdom of the grace of God that continues to come with us? Come, join me, let us move together and have this world. Let's create nations in us. Let's create nations in us. I know you also want to create a nation in you. You want to create a large following of a nation that follows you. Let's do it together. Click the subscribe button and we'll meet on the next video. Thank you.